And we're live again here talking about Patriots free agent wide receivers. They have made two moves in the last few hours. Say, do you want to break down the players and their contracts?
So they got Nelson Agholor
Oh God.
for 26 million, 2 year worth 26 million. And then we got Kendrick Bourne leaving the 49ers for 3 years, $22.5 million. My God.
So I'll be the first to admit I don't know much about Kendrick Bourne. His PFF grade is 72. He's a young player. I believe he might have had some injuries. I know the whole 49ers were banged up the last few years.
Let me tell you about Bourne.
Tell me.
He's 25 years old. Has caught 137 passes, 1,769 yards with 11 touchdowns.
Over how many years? His career or what?
Through his career of 4 years in the NFL. Fucking trash.
Listen, he's getting $8 million a year or $9 million. I don't really care too much about it.
Yeah,
I think that's
a big deal.
What's Edelman making this year?
Ooh.
If he even comes back.
I'm just saying that's probably like right around what Edelman's been getting paid over the last 3 or 4 years, since he's been a Patriot.
Edelman signed a 2-year, $15.5 million contract, so he's getting about.
So he's making Edelman money.
Yeah. He's making Edelman money, which is weird, huh? But I mean, Nelson Agholor, right? He's, again, somebody help me. Like, why would we get this guy? I understand that he would be a good deep threat, but would he be the slot receiver? Would he be the Z guy? Maybe.
I have no clue. We have like a slew of like B players, wide receivers, but B plus wide receivers. I don't know where the hell you put them all because you ain't going to be going 5 wide. This is almost Patriots are going to be running probably 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver, a running back, maybe a fullback. That's what you're going to be running. So where the hell are you going to get, playing time for, if Edelman comes back or for Agholor or for Bourne or for, forget about Harry, but for, Myers. I don't know where you're going to get these guys all on the field.
Well, I think with this move, I know that Kill Harry has been getting phone calls. I think that's pretty much evident now. I think he's going to be getting moved on for a 4th, maybe do one of those swap 3s type of deal thing.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's sad if that's the case, though.
Do you think the Patriots will be run dominant this season? That's the question.
Well, you have to be. If you have Cam Newton as your
quarterback, you have to run dominant.
You have Damian Harris as your running back.
Yeah.
And your offensive line is pretty good. Like they're probably going to move in that guy. Was it Awenu?
Yeah,
probably going to move him into guard, and they're probably they had Trent Brown. It's a team that you have to run the ball. But then you go out and spend, how much money have they spent today in contracts for 2 receivers and a tight end that
$25 million, something like that over 3.
Yeah, I think it's like Hashy said, like if you have a team full of B players, then you're a B team, and a B team is probably 8-8.
Yeah, I mean, look,
9-7 maybe at best.
The thing with the B team, man, the Patriots have talent-wise have always kind of been a B team, except for Tom Brady, if you consider Tom Brady the GOAT. But as far as their actual talent, it's always been guys like that, right? It's always been the Nelson Agholors, the freaking Kendrick Bournes. It's always been no-name guys like, well, not no-name, but
go back to what you just said. Besides who?
Besides Tom Brady, but like, I mean, you're putting a lot on Tom Brady's shoulders here.
When you get Tom Brady back in the Patriots, and then maybe I'll give you the Super Bowl odds. You get Cam Newton, you ain't winning shit.
Dude, listen to me. Like I said last year, man, okay? The last season was a joke season for the Patriots. They weren't trying, man. They're testing some shit out. Okay, let's be realistic. We don't even know what Cam Newton can really do, man. That's what I think.
So they were testing it out, and then they still brought back Cam Newton.
Yeah, maybe that was a plan from the beginning. You don't know. I mean, we don't know.
We could certainly have a segment on quarterback and on expectations, and maybe we should bring it to that next. But let's just continue this talk with wide receivers. I personally, I don't care about Bourne. It's only $8 million. He's a young player, very talented.
It's a lot of money, man.
He's got some quickness. It's a lot of money, but for a receiver, it's what I'm pissed about though, because all the other moves, we talked about in our previous segment, Judon and what he could or couldn't do and how much money they paid him. I don't care about that. Hey, he's a talented freak of nature, had a lot of success. What I am a little bit pissed about though is the Agholor deal. You're paying Agholor, $13-14 million for a guy who was a joke last year at this time. He got $1 million with the Raiders just to rehab his career. You got guys on Channel 7 in Philadelphia News, making fun and shitting on Agholor over here. And now we just paid this guy $26 million over 2 years, or $13-14 million guaranteed. That's what I don't understand, man. Why?
Well, he got what? He got 48 passes, 896 yards,
Thank you,
8 touchdowns.
Thank you for bringing it up, though. If you look at his numbers for last year, I mean,
8 touchdowns,
900 yards, in 8 touchdowns. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, the touchdown machine.
But that's in an offense that is predicated on throwing the ball deep.
It is.
Cam Newton can't throw the ball deep.
He's still at, and he averaged 18.7. He's still a quick, he's relatively young. He's still fast. I mean, so the problem that I have is just the name. And Belichick doesn't go off of names. He doesn't go off of what guy on Channel.
Whoa. We're predicating the fact that we think Cam Newton's going to start.
Okay, well, that's another segment there. We can talk
well, we're predicating on what we know right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
we signed him for
what you have right now is that you have Cam Newton as your starting quarterback. He's the only quarterback.
Forget about Cam Newton. Would you like Nelson Agholor even if Tom Brady was here or Mahomes was here?
Nope.
To me, the numbers still just don't make sense. What if whatever his name got 14 million, what the hell is Juju gonna get?
Oh, dude, Juju.
What do you think he was gonna get? What's Curtis Samuel gonna get?
But I think there is.
That's what I'm upset about. If Curtis Samuel and Juju go get 20 a year, I got no problem with this deal because hey, that's fine. You're getting the 4th or 5th best receiver, and you're paying him 12 or 13 a year, and it's a 1-year deal because there's only.
But can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Does Juju, not Juju, but that's a bad example. But there's been rumors about Holiday going for 5 years for 20 mil. 20 years of Holiday per year, or 13 million a year for Agholor, and plus 8 million a year for Bourne.
I think that's
if you could have Bourne and Agholor, or just get Galladay, who's a playmaker, and he is a difference maker when healthy. But I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you have, because you still get Cam Newton through you the goddamn ball.
Since we're talking about wide receivers, right? Let's talk about what is a list of unsigned wide receivers as of right now?
I think Curtis Samuel and Galladay and Juju are the top probably 3 on
Curtis
that list.
Samuel.
Yeah.
I'll just start from the list that I have here. Kenny Galladay, unsigned. Juju Smith, unsigned. Corey Davis, unsigned. Curtis Samuel, unsigned. Will Fuller, was it the 5th?
Oh, yeah.
Unsigned. Nelson Agholor, we just signed him. Antonio Brown, did the Bucs sign him again?
No, they haven't. But most.
Yeah. Marvin Jones Jr., unsigned.
So Corey Davis has just re-signed with the Titans. 31 seconds.
Oh, he did? Okay.
3 years, $37.5 million. So for less money, you could have had Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever seen Corey Davis. I'll take Corey Davis over Nelson Agholor.
I would too. I would have rathered that.
But yeah.
It's about the same. I don't know what his guaranteed is, Sean. Do you know what the guaranteed money is? Probably not.
For who?
Corey Davis.
27 million.
Okay, so that's about 2 years guaranteed. Bill's only paying, Agholor essentially 1 year guaranteed. So whether that means anything, I don't know. To me, the problem is just, Agholor, what he did, not last year, because what he did last year, he's deserving of that money.
Yeah.
What he did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years.
His whole career before that.
Before last year. And maybe he just had the case of the drops because, hey, I don't know. He was in his head. But,
and he had Carson Wentz as a quarterback, and he had Nick Foles as quarterback. So these aren't like, well, they might seem like bums now, but they weren't bums 3 or 4 years ago.
I agree.
So I think this is a good point for me to ask my question to the 2 Patriots fans in this room. Do any of these moves actually move the needle? You were a 7-9 team last year. You still have Cam Newton as your quarterback. And just going on based off what you have right now, how much better did you actually get record-wise?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to segue into our next question.
I'm gonna put my clown nose on.